It's not too bad. It's a little bit tender, but not a huge drama. Be probably touch and go whether I play again this year, but we'll just see how it heals. But it's not a long-term injury. Well, not really. It really just depends how it heals. I mean, I'll be in the brace for 2 weeks, and then we'll see after that. But the boys have a big focus this week, and hopefully we can get out of the line of the Tigers and go from there. No. Looking forward to next year and the challenges that await. I don't know. That's the simple answer. Obviously, if you'd had 3 or 4 footy careers, you'd get to the age of 30 and you'd know how you're feeling. You could say, I felt like this a year before I retired, or 2 years, or 5 years before. But as you're doing it all for the first time, my guess is as good as yours. But still certainly ready to gear up for next season. I didn't know there had been, to be honest. Yeah, look, I don't find it surprising. It's sort of natural when players get to 30, 30 plus. Those sort of questions get asked. So I guess it's not surprising, but I probably wasn't aware there was a whole lot of speculation on it. Not at this stage, no. But again, there are all sorts of questions I'll answer, and that you probably only can answer once you have stepped away from the game and can fully appreciate how much you miss it, or how much interest and passion you've still got for it, or if you're ready to do something else. But to answer those questions while you're still engulfed in footy 24/7 is probably a hard thing to do. Well, certainly not through running. But look, there's some sort of cross training things you can do that just require upper body. But yeah, look, I won't be in a brace for 2 weeks and coming out and playing straight away. So look, that's one of the challenges. But I guess when you've played for 12 years, you've got a little bit of money in the bank in that area. It probably did take me by surprise a little bit. The second half of the season has been quite good. But I'm also aware, my experiences of being inside a footy club, that you really don't know what's happening inside someone else's footy club. Certainly we're a long way removed from it, and it's hard to get a good impression of what's actually going on, or what agreements and arrangements and words have been spoken there in the years gone by. So it's pretty hard to give an accurate comment. But yeah, I was probably surprised that it happened. I certainly will be staying involved wherever I can. I haven't spoken to Mick about sitting in the box this week, but that's something I'll look to do, and I'm not sure if any other players are going to be in there already. So pending capacity, I'll try and sit in there in this week and get a bit of a feel for that. It's hard to know whether or not that is or isn't a possibility. I guess from our perspective, you need to finish in the top 8 to play finals. That's still a mathematical possibility for us. But more importantly than talk of us playing in finals is we just need to play better footy. That's really important, and before we need to worry about any what-ifs or what's going to happen down the track, playing better footy and competing harder is our main focus, and we need to do that this week against the Tigers. Again, it's not something I've given a huge amount of thought to. The thought really is here. We've got a lot of work to do, and we just really need to focus on that and focus on improving before we can extrapolate and dream about playing in finals. I certainly don't think anyone would have any experience of what Essendon has gone through this year. It's been what's been the first time in AFL history that sort of things happen. So it'd be hard to compare personal experiences, and it really is impossible to know how those guys are feeling and what they're actually going through unless you're in there living it with them. I look pretty much straight away. You sort of have a couple of weeks at the end of the season where you switch off and relax and don't think about things too much, but your brain starts ticking pretty early on about what things you need to work on and what things to improve, and there'll be some things I've got to do rehab wise to make sure that the knee's as strong as possible pretty soon after the season. So I try and sort of change things every year. I think trying to recreate something isn't nearly as powerful as creating something new. So I've always had a philosophy of trying to create something new in each and every season I come into, rather than trying to recreate things that have happened in the past. Without being oversimplistic, we're a mediocre team. We're in the middle range, sitting at 9th. We'd certainly like to be higher up on the ladder, but we are where we are, and I think it's given us a good chance to really, it's given us some real clarity on where our club and where our list is at. And I certainly don't think we've been able to band-aid over anything. We are where we are, and I think the coaching staff would have a really clear picture of that and have probably learned a lot about this group this year. And I think that'll hold us in good stead going forward. But as I said, there's just plenty of work and plenty of improvement for this group to do, and we need to be ready for that.